Today's book review is entitled Tom Brown's Field Guide, City and Suburban Survival. The book was published in 1984 by the Berkeley Publishing Group and was written by Tom Brown Jr. Tom Brown Jr. is a renowned tracker, teacher, and author. When Tom was only 7, Stalking Wolf, who Tom calls grandfather, an Apache elder, began teaching Tom in the skills of tracking and wilderness survival. Many residents of cities and suburbs think they are safe from the ravages of the unknown. But every day, cities and towns get beaten with hurricanes, blizzards, floods, earthquakes, and other unforeseen acts. Shelter, water, fire, and food are so easily acquired in the city that we rarely see them as necessities until they're no longer available. City and Suburban Survival attempts to give the city dweller an edge on survival over those who aren't prepared. Anyone who's a suburbanite that wants some information on how to adapt an ever-changing environment in a city with large amounts of people, or how to prepare to protect themselves from crime and corruption during trying times in the city may benefit from reading this book. It also would be for anyone who wants to educate themselves about how city utilities work or how they're laid out schematically would enjoy this read. The book contains 8 chapters that are covered in about 222 pages, and then additional reading is covered by 3 appendices and a detailed index in the back of the book. All of this spans across a total of 266 pages for the entire book. The beginning of the book has a dedication page where the author gives a dedication of the book along with many thanks to certain people. Then a contents section that lays out the chapters and some subtopics. Just prior to Chapter 1 is an introduction where the author describes a brief description of why he wrote the book and how the book is organized, along with a short briefing of the main topics of each chapter. After the section with chapters, you have 3 appendices which cover: Appendix A is Common Urban Edibles. Appendix B is Common Urban Animals. And Appendix C is a list of survival kits for home, car, and carry anywhere. There is some inconsistency in the structure of each chapter. In the beginning of the book, the layout of the chapters on a given topic begin with a broad view of a topic and then narrow down to a more specific discussion of that topic, for the reader's benefit in order to provide some instruction on accomplishing that given task. However, this does not occur in every chapter. Some chapters give a broad review of a topic and then that's it, with no detailed information on what comes after that. There are plenty of unconventional methods discussed throughout the book. How to make a shelter out of office furniture, or how to keep the wind, rain, and cold off your body through the use of junk materials, or the author's philosophy on promoting that the reader should do whatever it takes to stay alive. There are many items and discussions inside the Body and Mind chapter, which is Chapter 1, such as nutrition, dealing with stress, promoting good health, descriptions on preventative medicine, meditation, awareness of hazards, crisis response, survival priorities, etc. These help to mentally prepare the reader for how to maintain stability and self-preservation during a crisis. This promotes having a positive attitude, which in turn helps to maintain your sanity during difficult times. The book covers a wide range of topics that might expand the reader's knowledge in terms of thinking outside the box, or becoming more aware of your surroundings and preparing for a crisis without forgetting some important things like transportation, protection from urban crime, etc. These topics would hopefully assist the reader in a variety of crisis situations. There's a lot of good information inside the book. However, the author stops short of giving a full description sometimes of what really matters. There are many examples of this problem in the book. Even in the appendices section, which covers common urban animals and their footprints, it doesn't give the reader any option for eating these animals. It does show in a different section of the book how to trap animals and how to build traps, but then what? How do you skin the animal? Which parts are edible and which ones aren't? How do you cook it? How do you eat it? Etc. There's no explanation. The common urban plants section of the appendices shows plants that are edible, but it just shows a primitive illustrated drawing with no color photos. This would not provide enough accurate information for most readers to know the difference between some plants versus another. This needs to be more detailed in illustrations. As mentioned earlier, the layout of the chapters are inconsistent. A lot of chapters start out broad and then narrow down to a more specific set of instructions to best provide for the reader's needs. For example, the shelter section in Chapter 3 is structured in a way that the details talk about basic principles of shelters, how to build them, followed by how to build them correctly. Then the author discusses different types, best locations, etc. This type of structure does not occur in a consistent manner in all chapters. For example, in Chapter 4, which is entitled Heat and Light, it gives a broad description of how reliant we are on electricity, how electrons work, how electricity works in your home, how generators work, etc. But then there's no explanation of how to use any of that knowledge in our favor in a survival situation. Some of the topics do not go into enough detail to be useful in a survival situation, such as the section on home plumbing and water systems. This is a great idea to have this type of information available in a survival crisis, but without providing the reader with examples of how they could use this information to their advantage, it's of little value. For example, why not discuss how to turn your electrical needs into human-powered energy? If the power is off and we can't use it in any capacity, then why discuss it in a survival book? This type of information seems best suited for a do-it-yourself home improvement book. Tom Brown's Field Guide for City and Suburban Survival was written in 1984, making it over 25 years old. The fact that the author had the insight to write such a book during that time with all the unconventional methods discussed makes this book very unique during the time it was written. However, as of today, a lot of the information is a bit dated and has been discussed in much greater detail by other authors. Yet it still provides the reader with a basis of how to handle a crisis and prepare your mind and body emotionally and mentally. Many unconventional and out-of-the-box methods are used and discussed throughout this book that a lot of writers would often assume that the reader should already know. The author spends extra time to include some simple instructions in different cases, such as building shelters, keeping warm, etc. Some good supplemental resources for this book would include When All Hell Breaks Loose by Cody Lundeen, How to Survive the End of the World as We Know It by James Wesley Rawls, The Modern Survival Manual by Fernando Aguirre. The cover price is $14 US, but it's been seen on some online retailers for around $10. It typically sells at local retail bookstores for its cover price. At this point in time, it's only available in paperback format. Tom Brown's Field Guide, City and Suburban Survival received 3 solid stars. This book is predictable. Although enjoyable only in parts, it adds little to the available content already in publication. Arguments are, for the most part, solid, yet are lacking in some areas. This book is really an average read. Check it out for yourself. Thanks for watching the Survival Bookshelf, and stay tuned for more.